Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to read a couple more chapters in the Sideways Stories from Wayside School. I wonder what crazy characters we're going to get into today. Alright, we're going to start off with chapter 16, DJ. DJ skipped up the 30 flights of stairs to Miss Jewel's room. He was grinning from ear to ear, from nose to chin, from here to there, and back again. "Hey, DJ," Todd shouted. "Glad to see you." Todd was a pushover for smiling faces. Mrs. Jewell heard him. Mrs. Jewels heard him. She began to write Todd's name on the board under the word discipline. But when she saw DJ's smile, she put down the chalk. "Good morning, DJ," she said. "What are you happy about?" DJ grinned and shrugged his shoulders. Miss Jewell smiled. Damon looked at the smile on Mrs. Jewell's face, then at Todd's, and then finally at DJ's. Then Damon started to smile, too. His smile was almost as big as DJ's. They were best friends. Once they saw the two of them smiling, the rest of the class couldn't help but smile. Rondi had a very cute one, due to her two missing front teeth. Nobody had an ugly smile. Jason came to school late. He was very upset, but the first thing he saw was Damon's smile, and he felt a little bit better. Then he saw Rondi's toothless grin, and he even began to smile a little himself. But when he saw the piano on DJ's face, he fell laughing to the floor. Everybody started to laugh. Even Kathy, and she hardly ever laughed except when somebody hurt themselves. The whole room seemed to be laughing, not just the people in it. The blackboard even chuckled. The ceiling snickered. The desks were jumping up and down. The chairs were slapping one another on the back. The floor was feeling ticklish. It laughed until the walls turned purple. The wastebasket started to sing, and the pencils stood up and danced. Finally, things began to settle down. Mrs. Jewels wiped her eyes and said, "DJ, why don't you tell the class why you are so happy? At least let us know what we are all laughing about." But DJ just kept smiling. "Oh, come on, DJ," said Dee Dee, "tell us." DJ didn't say a word. He couldn't. His mouth was stretched out of shape. "Let us guess then," said Rod. "If we guess right, will you tell us?" DJ nodded his head. His smile began to hurt his ears. Everybody took one guess. "Have you been swimming? Is it your birthday? Are you in love? Did you get the green ball?" Nobody guessed right. At recess, DJ was still smiling. Lewis, the yard teacher, called out, "Hey, DJ, come over here." They walked to the far corner of the playground where they were alone. "Hey, DJ, what's up?" Lewis asked. DJ just smiled. "Come on, DJ, you can tell me. Why are you so happy?" DJ looked up at him. He said, "You don't need a reason to be sad." DJ smiled and looked up at him, and he said, "You need a reason to be sad. You don't need a reason to be happy." I love that. Chapter 17, John. John had light brown hair and a round head. He was Joe's best friend. John was one of the smartest boys in Miss Jewel's class, but he had one problem. He only could read words upside down. Nobody ever wrote anything upside down, but it was only a little problem. John was still the high In the high reading group, he just turned the books upside down. It was easier for John to turn the book upside down than to learn to read correctly. But the easiest way isn't always the best way. Miss Jewell said, "John, you can't go on reading like this. You can't spend the rest of your life turning books upside down." "Well, why not?" asked John. "Well, because I said so," said Miss Jewell. "Besides, what happens when I write something on the blackboard? You can't turn a blackboard upside down." "No, I guess not," said John. "Well, I know I'm right," said Miss Jewell. "You're going to have to learn to stand on your head." John couldn't stand on his head. He had given up trying. You would have too if you had fallen over as many times as he had. Joe was John's best friend. He could stand on John's head. Every time John fell over, Joe stood on his head. After all, that's what best friends are for. "My head is too round, Mrs. Jewell. I can't stand on it," said John. "Well, of course you can, John," said Miss Jewell. "If Joe can stand on your head, then, well, so can you." "Well, yeah, it's easy, John," said Joe. "I can't," John repeated. "I always fall over." "Well, nonsense," said Miss Jewell. "All you have to do is find your center of balance. Now, up you go." John put his round head on the floor, swung his legs up. He fell right over. Then Joe stood on his head. "See, John, it's not easy." "Well, nothing to it," Joe said. "We'll help you, John. Mrs. Jewell, Joe, get off of John's head and get me a pillow from under my desk. Nancy, Calvin, come here, give us a hand." Mrs. Jewell took the pillow from Joe and set it on the floor. "Well, all right, we'll surround you," she said. "We won't let you fall." John put his head on the pillow. He swung his legs up. He started to fall one way, but Nancy pushed him back up, and he started to fall the other way, but Calvin pushed him back and straightened him out. John kept falling a little bit this way and that until he found his center of balance. "Hey, look at me! Look at me!" said John. "I'm upside down. I really am. I'm standing on my own head. I found my center of balance. It's because I can read the blackboard." "Hey, Calvin, bring me a book, and you don't even have to turn it upside down." "Ha ha! Hey, hey! Ooh, bam!" While Calvin went to go get the book, John fell flat on his face. "You better stay off my head, Joe," he warned. "Are you all right, John?" said Mrs. Jewell. "Yes, I think so. I feel a little funny, though." "Hey, I can still read the blackboard, and I'm not upside down. I can read right side up now. When I fell, I must have flipped my brain or something." "Well, that is wonderful, John," said Miss Jewell. "Here, put that pillow back under my desk. As a reward, you may have a Tootsie Pop. They are in the coffee can on top of my desk." John placed the pillow on top of her desk. Then he looked under the desk. He couldn't find the Tootsie Pops anywhere. All right, those are two more super fun characters, and I think we can all take a little bit away from DJ and remembering that we don't need a reason to smile and be happy, and especially with everything right now, I encourage all of you to smile just a little bit more and put that positive energy back out into the world. All right, I'll hear from you soon.